WOKB, Winter Garden, Orlando.
You've just tuned into Women, Wisdom, and the Word with your hosts,
Pastor Tehila,
Minister Tamara Murray,
Minister David Williams,
Minister Bridget Norvell.
And remember, you can never overdose on wisdom.
Good morning. I don't hear any songs. You know what? I guess Glenn was not on the job. Yeah, I put you out there, Glenn. Good morning. Good afternoon. You know what? I'm still in morning. Good afternoon. Welcome to Women, Wisdom, and the Word. Welcome to another great show. We're happy to be back with you once again. We're getting all geared up. I have the crew around the table, and everyone's writing, flipping. I told you, if you hear the flipping of the pages, the Bible scholars are here. Hello, Bible scholars.
Yes, hi.
So we're going to say hello and who's at the table today, and we also have a special guest. We'll talk about that, but who's at the table today?
Yes, hi. This is Pastor Tehila. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show today.
Good afternoon, Orlando. This is Tamara. So happy to be here with you today. Looking forward to a great show.
Hello, everyone. This is David. I hope you enjoyed the show today, and definitely call in.
Okay. Well, we want to thank you for joining us again. Remember, if you want to call in, that's 407-894-1680. Now, we're going to do a little twist this afternoon. You're always used to hearing my voice. We're going to give you some announcements also, but the beautiful, wonderful English-speaking Pastor Tehila
come on now.
Explain.
No.
She's
bravo, bravissimo.
Today's show, she's going to talk about our special guest that will be coming in, talking about her book. Now, Pastor Tehila, what should we expect today?
Well. This is a dynamic woman. And she is a product of one of our own right here in Florida. She went even to Valencia College. And, I'm just so excited. I want to meet someone who has done something. So many of us, we have the potential to do so much. Write a book, sing a song, and so forth. But she has actually done it. There is a book that has been published that she's written. Let me just say a little bit what it says. When you get at the back of the book that explains the whole story, let me give you just a quick synopsis of what this book is about. And I'm just looking forward to meeting her and hearing her story. It says here, the title of the book, it says, it was all a game until. Now it says it is the story of how one woman uses games as a methodology. There goes the English accent, everyone, in her life. She was so caught up in winning at all cost that she didn't realize what was happening to her as an individual. In this book, which is a debut book, which I've already said it is entitled "It Was All a Game Until." Her name is Jacquline Russell, and this book takes us on a journey of this young woman's life, and it will captivate you in such a way that you will see one or more characteristics that you or someone possesses. And the book goes on to tell us that you will experience all the emotions that accompany her lifestyle, and it will leave you and I cheering in the end. She encourages us to take an inventory of ourselves as we read. So this book is actually encouraging us to look into ourselves and reflect on the games, if any, that we presently are playing. There's a little bit about herself, who she really is, when she's coming from. And it says here, Jacqueline Russell graduated from Valencia College and attended Nova Southeastern University, where she studied education and applied professional studies. And she's currently enrolled in Alexia College seeking a degree in psychology. And she's a wife to a husband and a mother of one remarkably daughter and 2 exceptional stepsons. And she's currently teaching at an elementary school here in Orlando, Florida. Jacqueline is also a part of several organizations. This woman is powerful. I mean, she's she reminds me of Proverbs 31 wife.
Really?
You know, she has a lot going on. It says here that she serves on several organizations. She founded Etiquette on Us. I think it's an organization in the year 2008, which gears towards empowering young girls to reach their God-given potential. She's also a member of Esther Outreach Ministries, Inc., where the mission is to provide assistance to those that are less fortunate through having a local food pantry and clothing bank where an individual can come if any such need arises. She's also a member of Awesome Ministries, an organization whose mission is to study and experience the Word of God, teaching women of all ages, regardless of nationality or ethnicity, to be ambassadors of Christ. That sounds a little bit like removing the mask, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit like that. This is impressive. This is a woman who's after my own heart, and I can't wait to meet her. It says here Jacqueline's favorite pastimes are reading and writing. She also enjoys spending time with her family and friends. Well, it sounds, we really have a show for you today, Central Florida, and everybody who's listening out there. I'm excited. So this is what we've got today on the show. And, well, we've got Sister Tamara. I know she's got something to say about this book because she went into it. No.
Okay, I was going to say, you want to wait till we get the guest on the show.
Yeah, because it's going to be juicy.
Yes.
So we want to wait until she gets here.
You want to stay tuned. I just want to tell y'all, log on to Facebook. I am on Facebook right now. Facebook, Bridget Norvell. I think I'm, you know what, Bridget Norvell at gmail.com. Join me on Facebook. Join Pastor Tehillah on Facebook. Okay, let me spell Tehillah. Tehillar.
Yes.
Okay. And it's not Pastor is it Pastor Tehillah?
No. Apparently, when the page was set up, somebody said they couldn't put the pastor in it. So all you're going to get is Tehillah.
Yes.
Gochera.
Yes. And I know it's not going to be hard to find her because that's a unique name. So that's Gochera.
Yeah.
Join us on Facebook.
Yes.
Minister Tamara has
Minister Tamara.
Murray.
Minister Tamara Murray, that's it.
Yes, and on Facebook. And Brother David.
It's David.Williams Senior 1.
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
But I am interacting right now on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. Go on Twitter, get the 411 Twitter. You could go on, I don't know. You can see us
on Ustream. If you go to Ustream,
no,
you can
do we really want them to go on Ustream and watch us?
Glenn, can you put the camera straight on Minister Tamara for Ustream?
Yes.
I don't know if we want them to see.
She goes on about this Ustream every week. Every week she has to mention, we're on Ustream, you know.
Yes.
I
think that's the little camera. I'm going to sit on the other side because, sometimes you come into, this is the radio.
Yeah. People don't have to see you.
My back is to the camera, so you
Yes.
won't really get to see too much of me. You'll see Miss Bridget.
And yes, but Miss Bridget is not, she's the other Miss Bridget. She don't have the mask on. The Miss Bridget
removing
mask.
the mask.
Yeah, it's been
Remove
removed.
the mask.
So if you want to see Miss Bridget without the mask, I'm here. So I want you to, if you want to interact with us, Twitter, I'm going to tweet. I'm going to be tweeting, get the 411.biz. We're going to be on Twitter. So, jump on so we can interact in every way. I am all technology based when it comes down to technology, from eBlast and more. But before we start, I want to talk about some of our upcoming events. Preparing to be a wife. Soul Retreat, August 23rd through the 25th. Again, that's August 23rd through the 25th. Pastor Tehila Gucci.
Oh man,
Gutierrez.
Oh no,
We got to practice that name.
Oh, you
I
guys.
think that's where they got Gucci from. You know?
Yes, Gucci. Yes, Pastor Tehila Gucci.
No, stop that. That is Coachella. You guys, honestly. Oh yes, and
Yes.
Guess what? Central Florida, we have our website. Oh
Yes,
my God!
we're going
Forward
to-
in Faith Ministries is good. We have our website up.
and
So
we have the YouTube. And, But if you go to Forward in Faith Ministry, we have it where if you go to the Women Health Forum tab, you can see or listen to our last show. I'm being like Minister Tamara. We want us to see, but you'll see some pictures of it on YouTube. And Pastor Tehila and ourselves will be hosting Preparing to Be a Wife, August 23rd through the 25th. We're going to have special guests come
That's
in.
right, that's
we're going
right.
to host it, but
Yes.
we're going to have people come in to do the lessons. And,
Exciting.
and it's going to be exciting.
Oh, my
Ladies'
goodness.
Night Out. That's going to be June 16th at 7 p.m. at Capitol Grill.
Yes.
So I am getting my stomach ready.
First ladies. First
Ladies Night
Yes.
Out. First ladies. So if you're a first lady out there, you know, you want to come out to Capitol Grill and enjoy this time of letting your hair down, bring the tissues and everything you have to bring, you know, bring your frustration, bring everything to the table. And we're going to eat, and we're going to eat cake. Let them have cake.
Remember the cake.
The chocolate
Miss-
cake
Yes.
at the Capitol Grill.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, yes,
Yes.
with the hazelnut.
Yes.
So, Glenn, I guess that means that men are invited also.
You
They
can
said-
sit
they said bring
outside of the
everything.
table.
Well, you remember when we mentioned this, how Glenn went crazy, right?
Yes.
So, you
We
know,
have to be careful because we might see
anyone
you know,
in disguise.
in
Yes.
disguise, a wig.
Yes.
You know, so y'all keep your eyes out. If it looks a little strange and you're like, man,
Then it's Glenn.
Yes. Men love Capitol Grill too. Okay. We have to have I guess men night, leadership.
Well, we're
men
coming
night
up with that.
outs.
We are coming up with that.
Yes.
Something is cooking in the spirit.
Good.
And very soon we're going to be dishing it out.
Yeah, King's Night Out.
Yeah.
King's Night
Come on
Out.
now, yes.
That has a nice ring to it. I like
King's
that.
Oh, okay.
Night
Yes,
Out.
king it up. Come on,
King
come
up.
on, guys. You guys got to king it up.
Yeah, so these kings, kings, we're calling you out there now. You know, it's up to y'all to come to step up to the plate.
And call in. We want to
Call
hear those
in.
male voices, those deep voices.
407-894-1680. And before I forget, we had the awesome, lovely Pastor LaRue last week on
Oh,
the
yes.
show. And this week, June 16th, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. I know you're going to say that's a long time, but 10 a.m. is going to be the workshop. She's going to work with the Worship Council of it's Worship United Summit, LaRueLive.com. She's getting together with multiple worship leaders association, and they're geared up for something new. They're going to help you perfect that worship in you through Christ, getting you ready for that, you know, for your church, your dance
Yes.
team, everything from drum to bass to musicians to dancers. You know, everyone is invited that wants to improve the skills when it comes down to your leadership role in worship. Now, guess what? We didn't mention it last week. It's free. This is free. And we have another surprise. We have a team coming in, and we're going to have some
Food.
Okay. We are all about, you know, you're just going to call this a food show. I think we're going to call this food show.
And you can tell who's going to be
Yes.
providing the food and
You hear the
being
voice.
chefs. So
Yes.
please
You hear the
do
voice.
turn up for this event. It's going to be marvelous. It's just going to be really, can I say
Yes.
this? Off the chain.
Off the chain.
Can I say that?
You know, my daughter called me today and she said that I'm trying to be young, but I don't understand the young slang. She texted me and said, "You are voice." And I'm like, "What's that?"
Yeah.
And she
What is
said,
that?
your voice. She said, because I told her she had on too much makeup.
Okay.
And I said, you look casket fresh. So she said, you are voice. And I was
Okay.
like, what's you are voice? She said, your voice, Ma. She said, see, you're trying to be young and you don't understand the young slang. So I don't know if off the chain is like politically correct.
I think it's
They laugh at
ancient.
me if I say
I think
even
that's
if I say
ancient.
something that's on that's right, they think that is the funniest thing in the world. Like, Mom, where did you get that from?
I think we don't say it with the same attitude as they do,
Okay.
and with the same mannerisms and everything else that goes with it. We just
Okay.
say it because we're trying to
We're
sound
trying
young.
to be, politically correct. We're trying to stay in that, young phrase. Now, that's going to be at Celebration of Praise. And again, it's LaRueLive.com.
Yeah.
And I would love to see y'all out there. For all the events, for all the questions, go to www.getthe411.biz, or you could go to Forward in Faith Ministry for
Yes.
our upcoming events.
Yes.
You have something on the 23rd. We have something, I should say. I am a
Yes.
Forward in Faith Ministry. I put it out there, member. So that is my church. So what do we have coming up on the 23rd?
Well, on the 23rd, we are going to be putting out a fundraiser where we're going to have a band, great bunch of people just coming in to entertain us, to just for us to have fun. It's good to. We're not always boring, us Christians, but we want to have real fun. There is a group that is just awesome, and we need to just come out and hear them. They're called Sovereign, and we're going to have them on the show one of these days. They are awesome, this group. They can sing, and it's the leader is
Brother Berkeley, Leslie Berkeley.
Oh yeah. We need to bring him on the show.
Yes, I was going to say,
Yes.
would he have time to call in? We're calling Leslie Berkeley out there. If you're out there, Brother Leslie Berkeley, we are calling you to call in on the show, because I've heard this group before. Awesome.
Yes.
And I think we all have another special guest. She said yes, Pastor LaRue. She said she'll stop by. Yes. So, and Pastor, you said, we're not boring Christians. The only boring Christians I know, they're in the grave.
Okay. All right.
That's the boring Christians, because they can't party with us anymore. But they are partying in heaven, so they might be having a bigger party than we are.
Yeah.
And I have another announcement too for the 23rd. We are going to invite some VIP guests. We're really excited about that, and we'll tell you a little bit later on about that in the show for those VIP guests, and you're going to get some VIP treatment.
Oh yeah!
Wow.
To the 23rd, this function, and where is it going to be held? It's going to be in South Blossom Trail at 11609 South Blossom Trail.
South Orange.
South Orange. Oh, you say it. You say
South Orange Blossom Trail.
Orange. There's an orange in there.
Okay.
Pastor.
OBT.
Oh yes.
There we go.
Yes.
Okay.
Say
South. Okay.
Abbreviate.
So for the young partying Christians out there, is known as OBT.
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 Yes.
Right. It's very deceptive because it's in a small plaza.
Yes.
And you have to drive in, and when you look at it, it doesn't look like a church or anything like that. And on the door, we have Iglesias en la Rock, which means the church on the rock. And hopefully we'll have a banner out there for you to be able to easily see it. We have some balloons, just pointing you where we are. So
Pastor, you are the only one that can say those words. And you talk about your accent. Say that again. What's the Iglesias?
Iglesias en la Rock.
Did y'all hear that?
Oh.
Iglesias en la Rock.
And yeah, I think the Spanish there is a little bit shaky. Everyone, please.
So that's the building name that they'll be looking for.
Yes,
okay.
yes.
And I believe it's right near the 417 exit off of OBT, so it's right across the street from.
Well, all the roads really. It's right there in the center. 548, 417, 48. Is that it? Yeah, 48. Right? Yes.
Okay.
528, Pastor. Okay.
Oh Lord. Yes.
I think
I thank the Lord for the people on the table.
Yes,
right
I think
now.
there's an English teacher said, "Oh, I see a job for the summer." What's her number? We love your accent, Pastor. Yes. Well, all these great things are happening. We just had our guest walk into the studio. We're going to go to a quick commercial break while we get ready to bring her on to talk about her book. It was all a game unit. ... We're going to get ready to get into that ... So stay tuned. Call your friends, 407-894-1680. We'll be right back.
Gospel 1680 WOKB.
Vaccine-preventable infections kill 50,000 American adults each year. That's more than HIV, AIDS, breast cancer, or traffic accidents. I'm Arthenia Joyner, State Senator from Florida. On behalf of women in government, I urge you to talk to your doctor about the vaccines you need from birth through adulthood. You can protect yourself. To learn more, please visit womeningovernment.org.
You know that the ice cream scoop has the power to make a child smile, and that by slowing us down, the traffic light can keep us going. You know that the golf tee brings friends together, that the mailbox keeps them connected. You know that the cataract laser helps you look to the future, while the pacemaker ensures that there's a future to be seen. You know that the lawnmower, the clothes dryer, and the elevator make life easier, that the blood bank makes life possible. You know that these things we count on every day started as ideas. But did you know all these ideas came from the minds of African Americans? Support minority education today so we don't miss out on the next big idea tomorrow. The United Negro College Fund, a mind is a terrible thing to waste. Please visit uncf.org or call 1-800-332-UNCF. Brought to you by UNCF and the Ad Council.
Just a minute, Jake. I need to talk to you.
I don't have time now. I gotta go.
Jake! Wait, Jake!
Staying connected with your kids is tough. As a parent, you need to do whatever it takes, and the Boys Town National Hotline can help.
Come on, Jake. Let's go. Let's go. I can't believe it. My dad just texted me. He knows how to text. Better see what he wants.
From parenting questions to a family crisis, let the Boys Town National Hotline help you connect with your kids. Call 1-800-448-3000 or visit parenting.org today.
This is President Barack Obama. In the story of America, the greatest chapters are moments of challenge, when we see people serving their country and one another. Volunteers who step forward into hospital corridors and church basements, along levees and fire lines. And the next chapter is yours to help write. Sign up to volunteer at usaservice.org. That's usaservice.org. Let's renew America together.
A message from Renew America Together, brought to you by the Ad Council.
You wanna go? All of you who wanna go to college, wanna go? You best listen to this knowledge. Listen, you gotta be a go-getter, cause it's hard to get there. Get up in their face, get up in their space, so ask for help and do not stop. Know how to go, that's it, let's rock.
That was Farnsworth Bentley with Wanna Go. For more college info, visit knowhowtogo.org. Brought to you by the American Council on Education, Lumina Foundation for Education, and the Ad Council.
Gospel 1680 WOKB.
Okay, we're back. We had all the commercials go out the way. We're getting ready for our second half. And like I said, we have a special guest. But before we bring the guests on, I just want to say really quick, do everyone know who William McDowell is? Okay. Okay, now, Pastor, I have to calm her down because we have a surprise in 2 weeks. Someone might be a special guest on the show. And he's having a live DVD recording. I give myself away so you can use me. You have Jonathan Nelson, you have Steve Crawford, and Deirdre Greathouse, and Tasha Cobbs. Oh my goodness. Next week I have to bring something that Tasha has done. And if you have not heard Tasha Cobbs, you are in for a treat. worship for real. But William is putting together a live DVD at the new campus on Faith Assembly at the new campus on Curry Ford. It's 9307 Curry Ford Road. Again, go to www.getthefore11.biz. That's www.getthefore11.biz. Subscribe so we can send you out these email blasts. But William, it's a big surprise. And we're going to have giveaways. And we have to watch Pastor. She might go into the other room and start calling in for these giveaways. So we're going to watch her, Now,
I'm going to behave myself, honestly.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah.
And we have
I'm
to watch her too
myself.
because
she has a trivia phobia.
Yes. So if we see her leave out the room, we know what's going on. But William, I'm not good, but we might hear or see William McDowell in the studio on Ustream very soon.
Oh, yes.
This is going to be July 29th, 2012 at 7 p.m. Free admission. Yes. We like that. Free.
Yo, we like that.
F-R-E-E. We can spell that fast. F-R-E-E. Free.
Yes.
But I want you to put that on your calendar, and I'll mention it again after the show later on, when we're closing out at the show. But we want to thank, Pastor, let's introduce our guests.
Yes. This afternoon, I have the pleasure of Central Florida in just welcoming and introducing one of our own, a great woman who's right here with us, and her name is Jacquline Russell. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much
for
having me. Thank you.
Yes, it's good to have you here.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Okay. It is. And Minister Tamara is going to ask you some questions about your book. We just want to engage in, and if you want to engage into the conversation, it's 407-894-1680. But this is an awesome book, and she had the pleasure to read it. And she's going to, go ahead, Minister Tamara.
Of course, Jacqueline, first of all, it's so nice to meet you and to see you in person. And I want to ask, is this a biography or is this a person that you've written about?
It is somewhat of a biography, but it's fiction because I changed some things and I embellished it a little bit to make it all come together. But about 85% of it is actual facts.
Okay.
And the way that they happen may be changed a little bit, but about 85% of it is actually true.
Awesome. Because when I was reading, I wasn't really sure. A lot of interesting things in this book. First of all, I want to comment that as women, especially Christian women, we don't understand sometimes, or we don't look at who we're influencing.
That's right.
And who we're affecting by the decisions that we make and the things that we do in our life, especially with our siblings, our children, the neighbors, daughters that are looking on. And that was something that was very important, instrumental in the beginning of this book, is how the young woman was influenced. And could you just share that with us?
Well, when you're growing up in a small town and you see a lot of things going on, what women do, what they accept, and women don't understand that they indirectly teach you a lot of things. They teach you how to be a woman. They teach you what to do. I mean, and they may say one thing to you, but their action teaches you something totally different. So, a lot of things that I saw how, my mom or some friends of my mom's or some women in the community, how they accepted what men did in their lives, and how just because they didn't want him to be with someone else, they would accept all of this.
Exactly.
So, even though you may have a different opinion about how you're going to be, you're going to do one or two things. You're either going to conform to what you've been exposed to, or you're going to go totally different.
Okay.
So with me, my attitude was I'm going to be totally different. But as a result, I end up conforming to what I had been exposed to.
Okay.
So is that what encouraged you to write the book?
Well,
that was my next question.
What actually encouraged me was, about this time last year, I really experienced something that was really, really detrimental to me concerning my daughter. And I just didn't think I was going to make it. I just was just going through this hard time. So I began to write. I've always said I wanted to write as I was growing up, but I never did. So when I experienced whatever I was going through with my daughter, writing was an outlet for me. It was like a form of therapy for me. So I started to write. I said, well, let me just tell this story. But I was just writing just to tell a story. But then I would go on Facebook of my sisters or pages or friends' pages, and I would see young women saying, oh, he's over here with me, but, he's over there with you, but he's paying my bills, or he's sleeping over here. And I'm like, you know what, let me just put this message out there, because maybe I can help someone in the process, that you don't have to be this woman to just accept anything from a man just to say, I have one. If you allow God to do some things in your life,
that's the important thing.
If you allow God to do it, He'll do it.
Yes.
But it took me to go through the process, because you have to go through the process in order for God to deliver you and get you where He wants you to be. You have to go through the process. You can't go over it. You can't deviate from it. You actually have to go through it. So,
and a lot of us don't want to allow God to do that. We want to give Him some help.
That's right.
We have to help Him out.
That's right.
And now I want to ask you your thoughts on this. Is it because do we compromise who we are as women to get into relationships or to hold on to relationships, or is it because we don't know who we are that we compromise?
I think we compromise because we want to either get into it or hold on to it. I mean, sometimes you can know who you are, but when you, so many lies that may have been told to you about who you are, and even though you may know who you are, that doesn't mean that you believe totally what you feel. Exactly. So a lot of times you get into relationships because you want to hold on to it, and you do things that are not who you really are because you want to hold on to that relationship, or you want to be someone you're really not. And the more you start to be who you're really not, the more you start to say, who am I? You start to question who you really are.
Well, sometimes you're blessed because you were able to question. Mm-hmm. Some people never have that chance.
That's right.
They never ever get to that point where they actually wake up and say, who am I? Mm-hmm. Why am I doing this? How better can I, how can I better myself? How can I come out of this? How can I succeed? How can I live above, my environment, what I have, watched, what I've been taught? So this book is a wonderful book because, you're sitting right opposite me, and I can see you've come out, and God has done it.
Yes, He has.
God has done it. That the plan that He has for you, the plan not of evil, but plan of good. The plan, with a hope and a future, with an expected end.
Yes.
Has come to pass. So I think this book is such an encourager, and we're just encouraging everyone out there to get this book, and read it. And let the dialogue begin inside you.
That's right.
As a woman, Ms. Tamara.
Okay. And those are very good points that you're bringing out. And you will see all of these in the book when you read it for yourself. I also want to touch on some things that this young woman in the book, everything was a competition. So she developed this competitive spirit. So everything was drawn from that. That was her motivation. So I don't think she was really, we talked about this, she had a single-mindedness or a tunnel vision. So she was seeing things through the eyes of competition. But answer this for us. In terms of relationships, now that you're on the other side of things, what are some of the things that we really should be looking for? I just jotted a few things down. When we're going into a relationship or we have a prospective husband or wife, should we be curious about, are they educated? Are they seeking education? Do they have a career? Or they just want a 9-to-5 job? How do they feel about marriage? Do they want children, or how many do they want? When do they want them? These are things that we don't think about going into a relationship, or are we just getting into our relationships based on a need right now at the time, based on what you wrote in the book?
I think that sometimes we get in a relationship as a need. But when I started to write this book, and when certain things started to happen in my life, when I finally said, enough was enough, that I just didn't want to do any of this anymore, I really surrendered all of that to God. Because I used to say, oh, he had to be this, or he had to have that, he had to be so tall, so big, so strong, so he had to make this amount of money. Then I got to the point where, you know what? He doesn't have to have all of that. If he loves God.
Amen.
Yes.
If he is a man that truly loves God, then I'm going to get all of those things that I desire in him. And the husband that I have truly loved God, and I have all of that and then some.
Now, isn't that awesome?
Yeah.
Because the word tells us what? If ye seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all of these things shall be added to you according to his glory.
I want to get into the book a little bit more, because I would love for people to capture what it was that was inside of you that made you write the book. Now, in one of the chapters, you have the onset of the competition. Tell us a little about that.
Well, the onset was when you I grew up playing sports. I played everything, basketball, every sport you can think of that a young woman could play, I played it. And I had to win. So my mindset was that I had to win at anything. It didn't matter. So I took that same mindset with sports and used that in my life. So the onset of the competition was once I realized growing up and see all this chaos going on, I knew that I couldn't be that woman that allowed men to do anything to me. So I was going to be in control of what went on in my life. When actually, I wasn't really in control. In my mind I was, but I really wasn't.
Okay. Go ahead, Pastor.
No, I wanted to ask something about the book. It says, the title of it was all a game until. Tell me, what is the biggest game that you've seen women play out there, and it just is detrimental to us?
I was talking to someone the other day, and I said, we always think men play games. We always say, oh, they just like to play games. But truth be told, we as women, we play more games. And the reason we play more games is because we're not just competing with trying to get this man and get his attention. We're trying to compete against the other woman.
Yes.
We got to look better than her. When we go out, we don't just dress for ourselves. We don't just look nice for ourselves. We look nice because we want another woman to say, oh, she looks nice. Oh, that's a nice dress. So we play games on both sides of the field. So when the biggest game that we play as women is we don't want to lose to another woman. So we will put up with whatever a man dishes out to us. Wow. He can beat us. He could do all these things to us. And especially if we know that another woman is after him. If another woman is after him, we will put up with all of that because we don't want her to say she won. Or we don't want her to say that she took him. So that is the biggest game that I see that we as women, we play because we put up with a whole lot from men that we allow. We allow him to do all these things.
And I'm glad that you mentioned that. And also I want to encourage our listeners, please don't forget to call 407-894-1680 and call in with questions for Jacqueline. But now that you mentioned that, in chapter 6, you talk about that, the life with a hustler. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because there was a lot of abuse there.
Yeah. And the abuse, I didn't share a lot with my family because I didn't want them to not like him. So I wanted them to continue to accept him, so I didn't share a lot. So in the book, I put, he was a gambler or whatever, but he really was a drug dealer.
Okay.
And he was a drug dealer that was raised in a Christian home.
Wow.
Pastor, dad, minister, he was raised in a Christian home. But as he, moved away from that, he had his own mind of what he wanted to do. So, but the thing that really bothered me the most was, if a person says they love you, that they really, really love you, they wouldn't want to abuse you. Yeah. And I experienced the abuse on every possible level. I mean, to be, choked and had a gun to your head and say, I just want to shoot you or kill you because you want to be out there with your other woman and I'm actually just in the way, so to speak. And it was verbal, sexual, physical, mental. I think the mental abuse was more so than anything because you can get over, you can get counseling for the verbal. I mean for the verbal and all that. But when it's mental abuse, when a person like shuts you down and constantly, belittles you and say, you're not going to be anything, you're not going to do this, and and all that, and you stay in that because you don't want to lose to another woman. It's just really crazy.
And you call that false prophecy because after a while we start living out the things that they say that we are.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So it's just, when I look back And I realized that how much hurt that was there, and that you really didn't want to share with anybody, and you just had to just keep all that kind of bottled in. It was amazing that I'm here right now, because some people would actually lose their minds going through all of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's also all about keeping up appearances.
That's right.
You see, keeping up appearances and the competition with the Joneses, and making sure that even in our marriages, when we're in trouble, we don't share with anyone. We want to keep up the appearances. We want to present this united front, to everyone else, our family and everyone else. And I'm just so glad that you came in today, because this book, it's just, opening up all these fronts that we have as women. I want to say this to the women who are out there, to anyone at all who's going through such a challenging time. Listen, get help. Get help. Don't stay where you are. Share with someone. Go to your pastor. Look for someone. Get help. Don't be afraid that, I'm going to let my business be all out there. Get help.
That's right.
Yeah. That's what I can say to you. Hopefully, I think we would get numbers for people from now onwards where you can actually get help. If you need shelter, direct to where you can get shelter and so forth. We are going to start to leave things here at the radio station. You can call in. Someone can, give you the information that you need. But this is what I gotta say to you: don't stay where you are. Find a church. Find a relative, someone that you can talk to, and come out. Particularly when you've got children. Yeah.
And I just want to ask you, in all of this, when you endured, and I don't know how you stood, through everything that you had to go through, and the character in the book, what was the turning point? What turned everything around for you?
Well, just going to church, and a lot of times we go to church, but we're not actually in church.
Amen.
And when I finally got in church and really started to evaluate me and what I was going through, I can remember it was just like, I go to FMBC in Groveland, Pastor Isaac D. Wilkes, and we had our watch night service, and he said, write down everything that you want to leave in 2008. Just write it down. And he had this big barrel outside, and he had a big flame in it, just fire. And he said, we're going to take these out and we're going to burn them. And for the first time, of course we do things and we repent all the time. Oh, God, forgive me. God, forgive me. But this was the first time that I actually felt like I really surrendered all of this garbage to God. You ask for forgiveness and you repent, but this was true repentance, because I felt so much, so much better, so different. And it was at that moment when I realized, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
God, there has to be something better for me. And I kid you not, 4 days later, I had my first date with my husband.
Wow.
4 days later. When I truly surrendered it to God. 4 days later, I had my first date with my husband.
God is truly faithful.
Yes, He is.
He is truly, truly faithful. You are a woman who has the same heartbeat as I do. We have a ministry called Removing of the Mask, and this is what we're attempting to do, to bring restoration, to bring healing, deliverance, to bring each and every woman to fulfill and to reach their potential. So I hear you with another ear, and I'm seeing beyond, just your story. I am seeing women being restored and in recovery. So I just really appreciate this book.
And it's awesome. I want to ask you, what's the next step?
Well, the next book is called Ahead of the Game, A Better Me.
Oh, wow.
Ahead of the Game, A Better Me. And I'm actually, getting it together. And it talks more about, even though we surrender to God and we give our life to God, doesn't mean that things are going to be all great.
That's right.
You're still going to have circumstances and issues that come along, and the devil tries to get you off your course and all that. But I'm still ahead of the game.
Okay.
And I'm still better. So I know that life will get even better. So
And where can we get
the
and where can we get this book? I want you to give them the website of where we could get the book, and I know it's in. Go ahead.
Okay, it's on Barnes and Nobles. It's on Google Books. It's on Amazon.
Okay.
It's on Books A Million.
Okay.
You can also get it at www.trueperspectivepublishing.com. And it's also locally at Loans Christian Bookstore in Altamont. You can pick it up there locally.
And I know there's a lot of books inside of us. Many of us are writing books, but it never gets on paper. How can you encourage our listeners to start their book and start talking about what it is that they can do to start a book? You know what? There is a caller on the line, Phyllis, with a comment. Phyllis, before you answer that, let's bring in the caller. You're on the air. Thank you for calling in.
Hi, thank you. I was listening to you guys, and I wanted to let you know that I have had an opportunity to read the book, and I wanted to tell you it is so powerful. And my question for Mrs. Russell is, for those of us that know that there's experiences and things that we've gone through that are worthy to carry the message on, even in writing, where do you begin?
With transparency. I think that in order to get someone to listen to what you have to say, you have to be real. I mean, I can't tell a person about drugs. I can't tell a person about drinking, but I can tell them about being with a man or being in a situation that deals with a man that's not healthy and that's causing you not to have that true relationship with God. But I think that you have to begin with being real and being transparent, because people believe you when you're real. I mean, because they can see through it when you're not. Believe it or not, they can. So, we can put on a facade all we want to, but you have to be real. So I think you have to begin with being real with yourself.
Okay. Well, thank you.
But it's a great book. Just wanted to let you guys know it's awesome.
Well, I want to thank you for that, and I thank you for the question and the comment, and I'm going to have the opportunity to also read it when I slow down some. But the question was, and I think she also asked that question, that what would you say to that person? I know Pastor Tahila has a book in her. We have a book. How can you give us a little encouragement on how to get it on paper? Get us, I guess just, how, because we have so many things to do. It's just to stop and just finish that project. What would you encourage to say to us to help us?
Just to keep moving forward. I mean, I know that, I had a lot of things going on in my life when I did, attempt to sit down and start writing, and I would write a little bit and stop. But I just realized, there is a message in this. And then anytime you got a message and it's going to glorify God, keep pressing towards that message. Just keep moving forward, especially if it's going to help somebody else. I'm just all for helping the next person. It's not about me. It's not about the messenger. It's about the message. And just when you look at it from a standpoint of that this is going to help somebody, then you just keep pressing forward. Just keep doing it. I mean, if it takes you 5 years, when you get a free moment, just write a little bit. Another free moment, just write a little bit. And,
I like that.
And before you know it, you'll have a whole entire book. And the message is going to be powerful because you stayed with it and you stuck with it. So
it's another way of evangelizing.
That's right.
Right.
That's another evangelizing tool.
That's right.
That's how we have to look at it, as the ministers that's out there, the people that we know that we have books in us, that we're going to leave not just, but a legacy. We're going to leave a trail that write that vision, make it plain.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly believe that we serve God and we preach the gospel on different platforms.
Yes.
Yeah,
I like that.
We do that. I do it, behind the pulpit. But Jacquline here is doing it through the writings
of her books,
of the books. I have people in my church that I believe they have been set forth corporately in the corporate, world to preach. So
That's true. Well, I want to thank Miss Jacqueline Russell for coming on again, and we're going to close out with some more announcements. But is there anything you have to say before we close out, and a little encouragement before we close out and going into our announcements?
I just want to say thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome.
And I just want to encourage people to go out and get the book, especially women that are going off to college. Anybody that that is in 12th grade, high school, or going to college, they really need this book.
And what's that website again?
It's www.trueperspectivepublishinghouse.com.
Okay. Well, our special announcement, June 23rd, we have a special guest that's just calling in that he's going to be there June 23rd for our night out of worship.
Yes.
And we have Leslie Berkeley on the line real quick. We're going to talk about the June 23rd and then wrap everything else up. So, Leslie, thanks for calling in.
Hey, Minister, how are you?
I'm great. We just got the cue. You got 30 seconds to throw your information in. What are you going to be doing on the 23rd?
On the 23rd, Sovereign will be in the house with Forward and Faith Ministries.
Yes.
Pastor in the background there.
Yes.
Hey, Pastor, how you doing?
Hey, Minister, it's wonderful to hear you.
It's a pleasure to be on the radio with you guys. We can't wait. We are anticipating a mighty move of God.
Wow.
I hear that it's going to happen.
And I hear that little accent, too. So is that an island person, too?
Oh, yeah.
That is correct.
That is correct.
The
island people got it going on.
All right, David, I think we're outnumbered here with the island folks.
Okay. Well, I am so excited. Is there anything else you want to throw us a quick note?
Well, I want to say to everybody who is listening to the sound of my voice, if you don't have anything planned on your schedule, June 23rd, you need to be at Forward in Faith Ministries, because God is going to show up and show out in that place, and we are just a vessel willing for Him to use. So be there.
Amen.
Amen.
I like that.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Brother Berkeley, for calling in and getting everyone excited. Now, if you want more information, again, go to www.fifmorl.com. We'll have more information on there, or www.getthefore11.biz. Please don't forget about June 16th, Pastor LaRue, Worship Leader Association. They're getting geared up to help you improve and, just perfect that ministry in you. So that will be a celebration of praise, and we're really excited about it. Like I said, we'll have food and other great things. For more information, for anything, even Jacqueline books, she has made it on getthefore11.biz. So that's getthefore11.biz. Information about her book and anywhere else she's going to be that you would like to personally meet her, book signing and all those other things. Pastor Tahila, is there anything else you have to say before we close out?
Well, I just want to say, let this be a wonderful encouragement to you all, Central Florida. Get the book, and we're looking forward to seeing you this weekend.
First Ladies Night Out too.
Yes,
Capitol Grill.
That's right. And
Chocolate cake.
chocolate cake. Yeah, and we're going to have a great time. We are going to laugh, and we're just going to be in a wonderful, wonderful fellowship. And don't forget, this weekend with Pastor LaRue and Forward in Faith will be providing refreshments, and come and have the food that you've been hearing about on the radio. And our 23rd, again, we're having a fundraising concert at Church on the Rock in Glacier in La Rocca at South OBT, number 11609.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for another show. We'll see you next week. God bless.
And remember,
you can never overdose on wisdom.
Thank you for tuning in to Women, Wisdom, and the Word, a word of wisdom for all aspects of life.
And remember, you can never overdose on wisdom.